Hi, my name is Joyseki and I'm your well-being coach. Today I want to share with you on how to stay happy. Being happy is helpful for our well-being and healing journey, and we need to learn some ways to help us maintain and remain in our happiness mode. Remember to like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Happiness. It's something most of us pursue in our daily activities. What is life without happiness? What is the essence of what we do if it does not activate happiness? If it does not make us happy? This is why it's so important when it comes to the subject of happiness, because most people want to be happy. Most people crave for this happiness, and it's legitimate. It's something that is beautiful and even contagious. When you see someone who is happy and you stay around them, before you know it, you're also happy. Happiness has good vibes, and there's a way it beautifies our face and our life. So, staying happy, it's something that we should cultivate. I'll share with us 3 brief ways that we can stay happy. Is accepting situations that happen to us. I have found this to be very important in my own personal journey of happiness. Why? Situations happen to us that we don't like. These unfortunate situations, in quotes, can in a way bring up unpleasant emotions and feelings in the moments that they are happening. And most of us don't want to go through that. We want to always have life happening for us perfectly. But life is not like that. As much as we want pleasures, we need to know that life comes with pain. In fact, some of our greatest pleasures in life actually comes from our deepest pain. Pain and pleasure are actually the same coin of life. They are not different. They are just different sides of the same coin called life. Once we understand that, we learn to accept situations. Now, to accept unpleasant situations is not to be happy that it happened. That's not what I'm saying. I don't think I would say I'm totally happy when bad things happen to me or someone that I know, right? Sometimes they happen and we cry. We want to wish them away. But when something has already happened and you want to walk in denial, you want to act like that thing is not happening, what are you doing? You're making it more difficult for you to go through that phase on time. You are increasing the suffering phase. So, acceptance of whatever life brings to us, acceptance of results, acceptance of situations, of events in our life is a key part of staying happy. Once you have this mindset, you have developed the mindset of happiness. I'm telling you, it's so helpful. You lost a loved one. It's sad that you lost a loved one. I am sorry that you lost a loved one. But we lose loved ones. We even die. These are realities of life, and we need to come to terms with them and embrace them. These are what life is all about. As people are dying, people are being birthed. Okay? So while you're going through your grieving process over the loss of that loved one, you need to learn to accept that, okay, it's my turn to mourn. I have mourned with others in the past, which is very likely. I'm sure there must have been someone close to you that's lost a loved one. I have mourned with others. It's my turn. This is not saying, oh, wishing for bad things to happen. I'm saying this because in our part of the world, we have a way of trying to assume that certain things will never happen to us. But it's not so. It's not so. Pain happens to all of us. And we all experience some form of pleasures in life too. So when we're going through pain, when we're going through difficult circumstances, difficult events, the first thing is to embrace them. Accept the fact that this has happened. It's already happened anyway. Struggling to accept it or denying it is just elongating the process. Once you develop this mindset, you have started your journey to staying happy. This is one key way to maintain happiness. So even though momentarily you are grieving, you know that phase will go. You know it's only a temporary phase. It's not forever. So you don't act like those who think that that phase will be forever. So people who are able to accept situations when they happen are actually more able in so many ways to overcome them on time and move to the next phase. After the pain, there will be pleasure, right? Next key thing to staying happy is knowing your areas of control. This is so important. In working with my clients, I found one key thing that creates distress in our lives. Even in my own personal experience, this was a huge problem. Trying to control everything. We want to be in charge. We want life to be more predictable. That's why we want to be in control. We want to control our loved ones. We want to control the business. But the economic policies we don't have control over. One policy can change a business, can change the workplace dynamics. We didn't have control over that. Learning to know your areas of control. You cannot control another human being. So if you have a loved one or a lover or whatever dynamic the relationship is, as long as another human being, it's important that you know that you have no control over them. No, you don't. You might have some level of influence, which you don't determine. They determine the level of openness they want to have towards your influence. It's not up to you. So don't take yourself too high. Okay? This is one of the illusions we have about ourselves. You don't have absolute control over life. Some things would happen that you didn't plan. Just know that this is part of life. Know where you have control. You have control over yourself, over how you feel, what you're thinking, your behavior. Okay? Once you understand that, you're able to influence your state of mind that way. So when something external is happening and is affecting your mood, maybe it's making you sad, remember that the event you didn't have control, but the response or the reaction you have control. So you take charge of your response. Okay? You take charge of your response. You acknowledge how you're feeling. Alright? You deal with it. You do those things that makes you feel better when you're down in that moment. You choose how you respond. If it's a relationship and things are not going the way you want, and it has continued for long, you decide whether you want to remain in that relationship. You make key decisions. Those are the parts you have control over. Not to continue to force somebody else to be what you want. These are not helpful for a state of happiness. You want to be happy? Maximize areas where you have control. Areas where you don't have control, which are the mostly external parts, what do? You learn to manage them. But responses to those areas, you have the control. So always be conscious of how you respond. Okay? So if you find that you are becoming irate because of what is happening and you're acting, paranoid, calm down. You have control over that. You can calm yourself down. You can do something that makes you feel relaxed. You can listen to cool music. You can journal. You can talk about it with your well-being coach or your therapist, like me. You can talk about it with your friend. You have control over that part. But the event you didn't have control over. So knowing what you have control over is a key part of happiness. You know why? Happiness is a state of mind. And we need to know that. Some people have turmoil all around them externally. But because they understand this idea of what they have control over and what they don't have control over, they are able to respond beautifully well. So despite how tough it is outside, even though it's more difficult for the inside to be calm when the outside is hot, but at least they find better ways to manage the situation because they are in charge and they know that they are aware of their responses. So they take control of their responses, they maximize that part, and that helps them to stay happy. That's what I want to encourage you to start doing. The next part of learning to stay happy, this is very important. This is something that I have worked with my clients. This is something that I do for myself, and it's been so helpful. You know what that is? Knowing that happiness does not mean that you won't be sad. Knowing that as a human being, you have different emotions based on the situation that is happening in that moment. Once you understand this, when something happens and you're sad in that moment, you don't assume that you've lost your happiness. No. You are able to be happy even while sad, and be sad even though happy. Does it sound complicated? Not really. It just means that you can go through different emotions at the same time. You can express that sadness over whatever happened. Sadness is often a reaction to a loss. You're grieving something. Okay? So you can be a happy person. You can have a state of happiness and grieve the loss of your loved one. It doesn't mean that you've lost your happiness. It looks subtle, but this is huge. Because I've had some clients call me and they tell me that they feel down, they feel they've lost it because something momentarily happened. So they didn't know when to end the grieving. They have assumed that state as their new state. No, emotions are fleeting. They are not permanent. You have a choice. You have a choice. You do have a choice. So accepting the fact that even though right now I'm sad that I lost my son, I'm sad that I lost this relationship, it doesn't mean that I've lost my happiness. And then not repressing that sadness because you want to appear happy is very important. Allow yourself go through that phase. Allow yourself mourn that loss. Allow yourself feel that emotion, express it. It's still part of happiness. As a matter of fact, once you're able to process these emotions, the different emotions that happen because of the different events that are also happening, it means that you're able to stay happier faster. You're able to move to your state of happiness faster. But if you deny them or repress them because you want to appear put together, you want to appear happy, it takes a longer time for that phase to wear out. And when emotions are repressed, a day will come when they will try to find an outlet, and that might be a day that you didn't pray for, you didn't wish that to express them, and they will spoil that day, spoil that occasion. You don't want that. You want to learn how to process events when they happen. That's actually how to stay happy. That's where I'm going. Processing our emotions, processing events that happen to us, not holding them to the back of our mind and saying, no, I want to be happy. I want to be happy. People say that a lot, especially among our young people. Because you want to be happy, you are denying things that are happening. You're not allowing yourself to process some unpleasant events and emotions. That's not a way to be happy. That's not a way to stay happy. You are happy. It's a state of mind. But events have happened that arouse some kind of emotions like sadness, anger. Why you are still happy? Why you still have the state of mind of happiness? It's okay to process the anger. It's okay to process the sadness. It's okay to allow yourself grieve. Don't repress them. These are ways we stay happy. And one of the things that I do with people is help them process emotions. It helps them process unpleasant events. That's why I help you stay happy. I want to hear from you. Tell me if you found this video helpful. And I'll be very glad if you write to me or write under the comment section about what you learned from this video. Thank you.